All right. Hello, hello. How are you holding up with your authenticity during major times of stress? All right, we're going to get into it. I'm super excited about this because I've found a way and I want to share with you about it. And it's really important. Okay, so I'm Enchantress Shane. I help people like you more when you're present, when you're in front of people, when you're on stage. What you're doing up there is important. And that stage could be in a conversation, that stage could be in a relationship. But when you're speaking and you're leading, how to feel like A, you're being authentic, and B, the person you're doing this with or the people that you're doing this with like you and want to listen to you. How can you stay authentic in a world of stress? Whatever the stress is, whatever your details are of stress, I want you to take a breath. It's urgent that we get our act together on how we can be when the world might feel like it's falling apart. And, I have a couple of clients, they're moving. One moved across the country, one is looking for the perfect place, another one is publishing a book. Like, there's the world at large, and then there's your world. And how to stay authentic is something I'm really focusing on this month. My name is Enchantress Shane. I am here to help sensitive beings who want to lead with authenticity, vulnerability, and courage. So let's take a breath together, relax your asshole, and put out some energy. Could be a sound or a sigh or anything that makes you feel like you're releasing it all. Okay, so today's topic really it can resonate with everybody, and the reason is wait, hold on, let me make sure I can see some comments. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm in a new setup. So let's see. So it resonates with everybody, each and every one of us. How do we perfect the art of being authentic when there's major stress going on? And the pursuit of authenticity might feel like, oh, you're never going to get there. You're never going to be who you really are. Well, I want to tell you right now, you are who you really are. I don't want to get too meta or existential on it, but it's precisely in these times when stress and authenticity feels like it's not happening, but actually it's your ally, it's your guiding light, and it's helping you to survive, but also to thrive. And so when life is throwing extra weight on your shoulders, if you're taking care of somebody elderly, if you're dealing with family overseas that's in danger, it's natural to want to put on a mask and just be like, everything is okay. Ugh. Because a lot of people don't know how to deal with your vulnerability. So if you're an entrepreneur, an artist, a creative, someone who's already in the public eye, what do you do? Right? Do you just keep going on with business as usual? Or do you stop and talk about yourself and then worry, oh my goodness, am I self indulging and talking about my own stuff when I could really go to my therapist? Well, it's somewhere in the middle. So it's about finding your strength within your vulnerability. And vulnerability is something that I love, but I didn't always love. I hated it. In fact, I didn't even know what it was. I would just like push it away, put on my happy face, and move forward. Even now, right? I was like working, writing, and I put on this lipstick. So this lipstick is a little bit of a mask. And I had to ask myself, am I doing this to hide something? Or am I doing this to feel pretty? And it felt, yeah, it wasn't a plan. I went into the bathroom. I was like, what should I do? And I put it on. But it doesn't mean you have to go out or go around feeling and looking how your insides feel on your worst day. You can have this spectrum of things. So, furthermore, this spectrum of feelings is happening all the time. And if you can turn on your awareness, and this is something that I teach in my awkward alchemy portion of my method is you can turn one ball of energy into another by getting curious about yourself. Okay. So alchemy to me means changing one thing into another thing. and understanding that when you are feeling crappy or you're feeling inauthentic or you're feeling like, hi, everything is okay, but actually your insides are like, no, they aren't. How do I deal with this? First, take a breath, but turning up the voice of what's actually happening with me right now. What's actually happening? Oh, I'm getting a headache. Oh, there's a part of me that wants to tell this person, shut the fuck up. It's not that that is the thing to say, but it's the thing to notice. And then you can find out where you're veering off your authentic trail. So, our authenticity as humans, and here's where the alchemy comes in, means you have many different feelings at the same time. When I was a preschool teacher and a therapist, they would teach kids, this is happy, this is sad. And it's like, well, I could be a little bit angry and a little bit frustrated at the same time. And then if I admit it and I get curious about it and I get my voice heard, it can turn into another feeling completely. Here's an example if that got too a little too wordy. I'm having a conversation with someone. I can tell they're excited about what they're talking about. It's a networking thing, but it's also a comfortable environment that I know my voice is welcome in the room. They're talking and they're getting excited and they're talking. And I'm really good at this. And I teach people to be really good at this. I was like, hold on 1 second. So I totally interrupted. And I said, to be honest, I'm not feeling that great. Now, what was happening was they were talking and all their energy was overwhelming me, and I was getting a headache. Literally, I was getting like a pulsating headache. And I said, I'm really not feeling well. And I can tell you're really excited. I would rather you share that excitement with someone else who's feeling well. And it felt brilliant. And they were like, oh my goodness, can I get you anything? And I was like, no, I'm totally okay. I think I'm going to make one more round and then leave. And it was just human. So it was very authentic. And I did have an inner part of me that I like to call a teenager. And she was like, shut the fuck up. Obviously, that wasn't the way I was going to handle the situation, but I knew I had to get out of there. In the past, another version of myself or some of my clients maybe would have been polite, would have stayed in the conversation, would have been like, oh, nodding, and then would have went home to complain or would have said, I'm never going to another networking event again. So your authenticity gives you permission to leave conversations, to leave events, to stop doing what you're doing. And it's a skilled practice to interrupt somebody without making them, without feeling terrible. Okay, so that's that piece. Finally, being authentic during stress involves being really present. And so, what I just shared with you is a moment of being able to check in with myself while I'm talking to someone else. So, if I'm stressing about the past or I'm worrying about the future, let's say I'm having a conversation at a networking event and I'm like, is this person going to be my client? Is this worth it? Should I be here? I'm hungry. Where's the bathroom? I'm not present. And then I'm wasting their time. I'm wasting my time. I'm getting frustrated and I'm not being right here, right now. So the tricky part of being present is it usually lasts for a couple of seconds. Then you go somewhere else and then you come back. That's normal. Okay. But when you're present, you can better understand your emotions and deal with the challenge at that very moment. If something is happening way across the world and you can't do anything about it and you've left the house, then what's more important in that moment is being right here, right now. So, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, or an artist, or anybody that's standing up in front of public, anyone that has planned an event or been an actor has some visual of what their performance will be like. Whether you're a musician, you've practiced it, and you want to do the very best you can. And so, what I train and I help people do is how to let all of that planning and rehearsing go, knowing you put in the time, you put in the energy, you put in the money, you put in your value. And now it's time to push that away, and the stage curtains open, and you do the best you can. And here's the coolest thing. I'm going to close with this story. So I was doing a talk amongst maybe 30 other practitioners of healing, yoga, all kinds of things. And the woman that brought me to the talk is a client of mine, and she's a powerful woman in her neighborhood. And everyone knew that I was her mentor. And everyone, nobody said it, but everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, Shane's gonna come up and talk." And I felt all this pressure, but not just for me. I felt everyone's pressure that they wanted to say something great. They wanted to be understood. They wanted to make sure that people were going to show up to their workshop. So it's were happening over a week. And at first I got into it. Even me, I was just like, oh my God, all right, I want to say this. Like, I want to make sure, should I say sensitive people? Should I say entrepreneurs? Should I say healers? I don't really like that word. I was like looking for my authenticity. And then it hit me. And I got up on the mic and I said, listen, I want all of you to like me. And the room burst into laughter, and I felt a relief in my body. And I was like, that's really the truth. Now, I'm not saying go and be that authentic places, but for me, I needed to say something like that because A, it was the truth, and B, the truth actually sets my nervous system free. And then I was like, all right, I help people be honest with themselves, with their audience. And it was a really great moment. And I didn't know it was going to be such a teachable moment, but I wanted to get out of that bundle of stress that was pulling me away from authenticity, that wanted to make me the best speaker in the room. And it was great. And everyone was so fucking inspired. And who even gave a shit what I was going to say after that? I don't even know what I said after that. Actually, I do have it recorded. But maybe I'll find it and edit this video. Anyway, so I'm having a training coming up on the 27th of November. I'll put the link here. And it is 7 secrets on how to be authentic when you're a sensitive leader. So if you're a musician or an artist or an entrepreneur, or you spend time in front of groups, it's important you get people to like you because they spend time, money, and energy when they like you. That's it. It's that simple. All right. So thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited about the upcoming training I do once a month. And this month it's about authenticity and sensitivity. So I will see you then. Have a great rest of your day.